So like BVS was probably like the only one that did over 100 million probably. And then maybe David Cornsweat's Superman could be the next.
Oh, God. I hope not, but I also hope so.
No, of course
I don't
we
want
hope.
him to be successful, but I want the movie to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
David Cornsweat, that guy?
Yeah.
On Kyle's monitor?
That's staring off into the distance.
Oh, no.
I have to stare at him the whole time.
I had to be quick on my feet. I really wanted to be aimed at his eyes to be aimed right at yours. That might be next
Just
week.
staring into Ken's soul the whole time.
This is the Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies.
Right. We're roaring into the new edition of Off the Break Podcast, getting ready for Jurassic World Week.
It is rebirthed back into theaters.
Goofy.
Shayla,
Turn for a pun, Shayla, dinosaur pun.
Shayla, no.
I'm not bringing
All
that
of
kind
that
of energy
big no.
today.
No, we've got a lot of things on screen that are working well, so it's exciting to have a big movie coming in, and it's exciting to have two big movies 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
This is two $100 million back-to-back movies.
That's what they're saying. Like, is that how we're feeling? Like, we're feeling like absolutely sure.
No Jurassic has opened under 100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No DC movie has opened over 100 million. I do not count the Christopher Nolans. Those do not count.
No, with Nolan, that's a special little baby that you
Yeah.
take care of the
Those
most.
don't count. Those Batmans don't count, you guys. Everybody's like, no way. There was two of them.
So like BVS was probably like the only one that did over 100 million probably. And then maybe David Cornsweat's Superman could be the next.
Oh, God. I hope not, but I also hope so.
No, of course
I
we
don't want
hope.
him to be successful, but I want the movie to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
David Cornsweat, that guy?
Yeah.
On Kyle's monitor?
That's staring off into the distance.
Oh,
I
no.
have to stare at him the whole time.
I had to be quick on my feet. I really wanted to be aimed at his eyes to be aimed right at yours. That might be next
Just
week.
staring into Ken's soul the whole time.
He might be the chosen one. He might be a Superman movie that breaks 100 million.
You are not from Kansas.
What's wrong with him besides his last name?
It's corn. He has to be from Kansas.
Yeah,
There's
for
no
real.
way.
That's pretty on par.
He's so British. Okay. I can't wait to hear something break out in this movie where his voice cracks just a little bit, and I'm gonna be like, "I told you so."
Oh,
I'm
man.
Superman.
That happened in Twisters with that one girl when she was trying to have an
Yes.
Oklahoma accent, and it was British shining through the whole
shining
time.
through here and there. Yeah, I buy that.
When
That's
they
most
ask
likely
him
what
to
happened.
like spell his superhero name, and he's like SUPRE. They're like, no.
They're like, no, you can't do that for this. Not for America's hero.
There's no you in the word color. Come on.
Well, I mean, I think the potential is there for both Jurassic World and Superman to be able to break the bank in that sort of way. I just always worry in these situations that audiences choose the first movie and they splurge on that, and then they need to recover like the next week. So you don't see as much of a splurge on
That's
another
not how
movie.
this works.
Not in this case?
No.
No?
No. People live week to week, movie to movie. Mm-hmm. The more we have, the more we build on this.
Yeah.
The stronger this next 2 weeks is, the stronger that Bad Guys and 2 and Naked Gun and those films are going to be, because we're going to see this resurgence of being used to going back to the theaters. So let's keep it going. I'm so excited for this.
Well, I was expecting Jurassic World to be the start of what we're just talking about here, but F1 weirdly might be the catalyst for like 3 successful weeks.
Yeah, it's 51 million. It's the highest grossing car movie, not animated, of all time. The highest opening car movie of all time. But it's just like, I don't know. They wanted
An official box office record, by the way. I assume.
CinemaCon like really hyped this up, and like car racing, or I guess car sports, automotive sports because you could lump Fast and Furious in with those, which blew this out of the water. But like since CinemaCon, since the trailers have come out, like a lot of people on our side of the industry like really, really wanted this to work. Like, this is so great. They filmed it during actual races. They did all these things, and it was just like, it felt like false hype. Like 51 million is not a blockbuster by any means. This thing's gonna not be in the top 10 for openings at the end of the year.
Sure.
So while it's exciting, while it's made by the same guy who made Maverick, like, yes, we want it to be successful. 51 is great, but it's not in the pantheon of films that we're going to remember for this year.
Wow, what a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, well, wasn't the budget huge too?
Yeah, most definitely. I think if you're doing like real racing, you probably have to pay Formula One oodles of Apple money to make it happen.
Yeah, no, and that's the other part of it. It's an Apple release, so we want it to be successful because it's in theaters, but we don't want Apple to be like, oh, this is a thing. Now we can make these big budget movies and put it back on our streaming service. Like, we need them to see like a little bit of success, just a dash. So 51 is a good number.
And Apple is in a weird place right now. Like, as much as we'd like them to be like another competitor for sending out theatrical stuff, it does feel like they're trying to see if whether that's worth it for them or if they're just going to cut their losses and go to streaming. So for the sake of F1 doing well, I hope that we still see some good momentum off it, because whether it's big budget or small budget, I'd at least like to still have that competition thrive for theaters.
Yeah.
They gave themselves 5 days to walk directly into a Jurassic World PG-13 buzzsaw.
Kind of on them.
So I don't know what their long game is on this, but PG-13s eat PG-13s. PG movies eat PG movie audiences. So you have to have this back and forth. That's part of the reason, like, July 4th itself isn't a huge movie-going holiday, because you don't go to the movies after 5 p.m.
Right.
Like, that's not a thing.
They're going to be closed. The theaters will be closed most likely.
After that. So you're looking at, they bumped it up to a Wednesday opening for Jurassic, which is great. And it gives them an extra 2 days to capitalize before Superman eats up that general PG-13 movie-going audience, to where it's like, I'm not here to see Jurassic. I'm just here to see a movie. It may be Jurassic, but it also may be Superman. And guess what? Superman's newer. It's on more screens.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how these kind of battle off of each other, because very rarely do two of the same movie sit there and make money. That's why Barbie and Oppenheimer were so good, because PG-13 and an R.
The demographics also, you can make an argument that they're different.
Yeah.
That was also part of the appeal to begin with, is that they felt like different movies, but they felt big on their own.
Yeah. But F1, Jurassic, Superman, it's all the same kind of audience.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts at all about 28 years later or Elio? Especially Elio, because obviously with the Pixar name attached to it,
it was
not great.
It was a disappointment as far as the grosses. It got awesome cinema scores. I think it's a really fun idea for a movie. I think it's what Pixar kind of built themselves on, was trying different things.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of this is the same now, where they're making like human interest stories, and then they're putting the fun like Pixar twist on them, whether it's aliens or elements or whatever, but it's very humanistic, and it's time to get way outside the box again.
I think that's a good point. Like, it seems like a lot of their releases lately have been humanistic stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that we had Elemental as well, but that felt like more of a retread of Inside Out. So I still think you should go into like that box again of, you know, not having them being human characters or protagonists to follow, but make sure it's not the same as Inside Out either.
Yeah. And the animation style is tired. They need to move on from the smooth skin, weird animation.
It does start to feel like Illumination animation too. Now.
Yeah.
Especially if they go like human route on things.
Always copy each other back and forth.
Oh, sure.
They do. Yeah, absolutely. Which is boring.
But we had Lilo and Stitch succeed, so now it's time for the live action Toy Story. It's time for live action.
I'm afraid for
Is
the
that
Shrek
real?
live action. Not yet.
I wouldn't be surprised. Would you be shocked?
I would be scared.
You would be scared?
That sounds terrifying.
Could be terrifying.
It would absolutely be terrifying, but that set aside.
That's our world.
Oh man, it's like Indian in the Cupboard. Have you ever seen that movie?
Of course I have.
That's what I imagine.
I get why you did it, but was that a good idea?
Yeah, exactly.
But 28 years later, another one like popped off, had a decent opening. Before the movie opened, all I saw was it's Danny Boyle, which is great.
Yep.
And it was shot on iPhones. And then I saw one.
It was?
That's what this whole thing was around, like marketing. Like it was made guerrilla style on iPhones. And then they interviewed Danny Boyle. And because they had this, they kept showing pictures of this rig with a zombie, and there's an array of iPhones around him.
Right.
And they're doing this, and it's like, yeah, so the movie was shot on iPhones. He goes, it was not. Like, he immediately denied that any part of this movie was shot on iPhones.
Someone heard something wrong there.
But it had a giant drop. It was close to 70%.
Yeah.
And so... Yeah, I mean, it's not, to say this, like a Danny Boyle zombie movie is not Final Destination 5?
Apparently not, but I thought the 28 years, or the 28 movies were respected enough to where there would be people wanting to go out and see one.
I thought so,
too. Do you think, like, summer season, it's just not good for horror?
May not be the time, but we've got one, another 28 years coming up next year. Beginning of next year.
In January, maybe that's the better option after all.
Well, that's what Universal found out with M3 2.0.
But that's not surprising.
Having the last one in January and being successful and moving it to June for the sequel was like, oh, this didn't work out.
Yeah.
Maybe 28 years franchise does the opposite move, where they move from June to January, and then they have a runway for some success, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because 28 years later did look like a good movie. So
it was Danny Boyle. Of course, it was a good movie, but it's just disappointing.
Yeah, I was really rooting for that one too.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We have July, and there's a lot to root for, and it should go over pretty well.
Yeah.
As we've been saying.
We're doing this on a Tuesday, and we have Jurassic on Wednesday.
Yeah. Which
ready.
I hope people are prepared for that, because it could be big right off the jump.
It should be, with people getting excited for the 4th, like we're talking about in the office. Like, don't count on anyone being on the other side of that email or that phone Wednesday or Thursday. Like, if you
we're all gone.
If you have an emergency, like, it's probably not going to get solved
right.
on Wednesday or Thursday this week.
You'll be on your own. Sorry.
And you're calling a corporate office in New York or LA, and a holiday's on a Friday. Good luck.
Yep.
So hopefully everyone got well prepared for that, so that way they don't have to avoid anything like that out there.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Are we ready for
Absolutely
the pick this week?
Absolutely.
We did Alyssa's pick.
My pick.
Kyle's pick.
Yes, my pick.
Speed 2 Cruise Control.
I did find out that the Speed sequel does take place on a cruise ship.
Oh, what?
One of the slowest forms of transportation.
Yeah.
And one of the other scary aspects of discovering that sequel was that Sandra Bullock decided to stay on for that one, and Keanu was the one that said, no. The script is bad. No offense to Keanu,
It also
but...
made her one of the highest paid actresses of all time for that movie.
Yeah.
There are some rough Sandra Bullock movies. Some of her decisions are not great, but she still powered through.
She still has endured.
Yep.
So
now
yeah,
we're doing the iconic Speed.
and iconic
Period.
it was. Absolutely. I get it now.
It's excellent. Just
Okay,
It's
good.
great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's almost perfect. It has a couple of slow spots.
Yeah.
A couple of spots
Sure.
where it slows down.
But it's such good pacing.
It's great pacing.
Really, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's on a bus, but it doesn't even start out on the bus.
Yeah.
That shocked me. I had whiplash from that. I was like,
It
I thought
starts-
this was on a bus.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
They're on an elevator, and then a bus. You see a bus and the bus driver, and they give all this exposition that leads you into that bus, and this is the guy. And then that bus explodes, and you're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
there's another bus!"
I know my husband was like, and that's the end of the movie.
Cody didn't
So
join me
snarky.
for
Yeah.
watching Yeah, Cody didn't join me for watching this one, as she's going to spend the next 3 weeks on planes and buses and in elevators.
Yeah, whoops. My bad about that one.
No, it's great. Keanu Reeves is great. Jeff Daniels is great.
That was also a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper. Chef's
So
kiss.
good.
He is so good.
I
man.
just really appreciated from Hopper just his plan and reasoning kind of making sense, but he still is like delusional because obviously he's crazy. It's
Yeah.
it's just
I
stuff
know,
like
his evil laugh is so
I'm like,
good.
you're not a real person, but also you probably are a real person. It's towed the line so beautifully.
Oh, the money drop through the trash can where there's a hole in the concrete.
Yes.
It's so great.
I couldn't believe the movie ended on a subway either.
Yeah.
Like, somehow I was on my toes the whole time. Like, the only time I wasn't on my toes was when they were on the bus. I was like,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
Yeah.
This is what I signed up for. But then all the other stunts, like, from beginning to end are great, too. Like, they don't feel out of place. They don't feel like they take forever.
No.
No, the
Not at all.
SWAT team, I mean, would they have a roller cart and a cable that could go 60 miles an hour?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, they were prepared for that.
Yeah, his
So
plan
funny.
for, like, saving the elevator, I was like, well, that can't possibly work. And then, of course,
It
it
does-
possibly doesn't work.
It doesn't work, which is great. Like,
Yeah.
And then I hate in these action movies where the male and female lead fall in love at the end and you don't see any of the attraction, any of this, like, building of tension between the two of them. This one was great.
Or even...
Yeah.
It has a good ending.
Yeah. Or even the opposite that we've seen lately. Actually, like with Twisters as a good example, where you
Yeah.
see like good romantic chemistry and then they don't pay it off at the end of the movie. And it's like,
I like that. I thought that was fine.
I don't know. I felt like it could have been warranted
Yeah.
in Twisters.
I
But anyway.
felt like it was one-way chemistry where we were all attracted to Glenn Powell.
Right.
Yes, agreed, 100%.
And I was like, who is this lame lady
That's British.
keeps getting trapped by tornadoes?
Yeah, for real.
What are you doing here, ma'am? Are you lost?
Starts off the movie going the opposite direction of the tornado. Like, we need to get away from this thing.
They're like, no, that's not the point. Go back.
Go into it.
Yeah.
I love Keanu and the stunts that he was pulling off and the action stuff he was pulling off. I don't know if his acting was exactly good in this
He
movie.
was just such a cop. Like, that was his whole vibe.
Sure.
Was just cop.
But that's why you put him in this as the main guy, but then you build him
The eye
up with
candy.
You build him up with Dennis Hopper and Jeff Daniels, and
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock can act. Like, she
Yeah.
was great. But
Oh, yeah.
One of her
you build him
earlier
up.
roles, but yet everyone was like, oh, she can act.
The character actors on the bus were great.
Yeah, that one guy that just kept pulling one-liners out.
Yeah.
The bus driver
Yeah.
was
Fair-
awesome.
Ferris Bueller's
Yes,
friend.
yes.
Yes.
What's his name? Alan Ruck, I
I
think?
was going to say Alan.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe that was his name from Ferris Bueller.
Honestly, perfect.
It was hilarious.
No need
It's
to
like,
change it.
I've been to the airport before. Like, I've already been here. That was so funny. One of
Yeah.
the best lines in the movie.
Yeah, just another great movie where they understand how to use character actors and give them like tiny payoffs.
Yeah.
Like just a snippet of nobody's getting along, but at the end everyone got along and
Yeah.
they saved themselves and
Oh, the dude he steals the car from and then crashes
Yeah.
into the water barrels?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's great.
So funny.
It's great.
I wish we saw more of him again. That would have been awesome.
The giant brick of a cell phone.
I kind of
awesome.
Yes. It's hilarious.
I kind of hope that he came back in the sequel in Speed 2.
He absolutely does.
No
In
way.
a boat.
Yes.
Absolutely 100%. He's
God,
in,
I'm a genius.
he's in like it breaks into him in a scene where he's like, I just had to get out of that LA rat race. Like I had to get out of this. He's on a boat. And he's
Oh, no.
Jason Patrick replaces Keanu Reeves. And if you think Keanu Reeves is rough in this one, Jason Patrick is
I can't even. I do
horrifying.
I
as
do
an
not
actor.
know
Oh,
this man.
no.
Jason Patrick.
Yeah.
That is not a real man.
Yeah.
You think my boy David Cornswed isn't a real man? This guy is not real.
Yeah. No. He stars as love interest, but then he ends up having to steal the same guy's boat from the first one. And he's like, I just got this baby refinished. It's all ready to go. And then he
Oh,
goes
no.
and destroys his boat.
All right,
running
I'll give him
joke.
Lost Boys. You were in Lost Boys. I'll give you that one.
All right. Well, we got to get into our next pull for 4th of July weekend.
Does that mean I get to draw from the bucket?
Yes, as long as
Yeah.
you pick mine.
Yeah. What is going on with you, Ken? I even folded your paper this time.
No. Oh, whew. Wasn't the pink one. No. There was a pink one in there.
As good as it gets.
Ooh, it was mine.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Not
Ooh, I would have
this
felt
time.
terrible.
Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt. I remember my parents watching this, renting this on VHS.
Okay.
I know he won Best Actor for it.
Ooh.
So I'm curious to see how good it is. Everybody loves Jack Nicholson in something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their thing.
He's iconic.
Everybody's annoyed by Helen Hunt, so annoyance there.
We'll see how that goes.
What's wrong with Helen Hunt?
I'm not familiar with this movie, though. Like, what it was,
Yeah.
like, the rundown, what's, like, the genre.
I don't know.
Oh, what?
I don't know. He won Best Actor for it. It's I believe it's a comedy where he's like this is all off the where he's Batman. No.
Yeah.
I think he's a shut-in, and he has she becomes like a neighbor or a caretaker or something. I don't know. I'm excited for this.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, wait, because our thing was that it's movies we haven't seen, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
Let's do this.
excited. Jack Nicholson. At least
gotta
we'll
be
see
good.
him acting well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
for
will be the fun part. And he's above the title, thank
No,
God.
he's such a good actor.
All
Such
right.
a good actor.
On that note, everybody be prepared for the next 9 days of movie going. It's going to be crazy
Practically.
out there.
But that's exciting. We need a little crazy. We need more successes. Audiences want more movies like these events too. So
Yep.
they're going to be
Yeah.
very happy.
In the end of the month, we just have a lot of stuff, lots of movies.
Yeah. We
And
do.
we'll decipher through that and figure all that out.
We'll dig-
But after the holiday.
After the holidays, celebrate.
Yep. Enjoy yourselves.
America.
Happy 4th.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.